flow positive were being used at the University of Chicago Medical Center. And so that's kind of where we're at right now and charging ahead.
So when do you have to start looking at things like like market research or business plans? Or do you ever?
So I'll be honest, and maybe some people get mad from some other departments, but I'm writing my business plan for Cozad now. And I already have a customer I'm cash flow positive. So I think maybe in some cases it would be really helpful to write a business plan, and I think a lot of things that we are going to put down on paper for a business plan, we already have in our heads, so we already kind of know it, and we've talked to enough people about it. But I don't think, you know, it is the be-all, end-all. Like, I don't think you should have a business plan before you have, you know, people playing with your product, or you're at least building something that people say, yes, I really want that. I think it's much easier for somebody to say, oh my gosh, I can't, you know, track quality control reports. Can you do something about it? And you start building something, they love it, and then they're like, oh, maybe there's a market for this. Maybe it's other people besides him that'll use this. And that's at least, you know, like my experience with it. And I think a lot of other companies, you know, like 37 Signals and some of these other guys, just you try to push this off as much as you can and just focus on like building a product because you already know somebody wants it, and hopefully someone's going to pay for it. And that's kind of like the two things what a business plan is supposed to do. You're all hypothesizing about it, but you already know that people want it and are paying for it, or want to pay for it. So
you're going to start a company for every new idea you have?
Maybe. If I have enough time, I will. So yeah, that's the one thing with like prioritization. Is that right? Close enough. But some things, you know, like right now, like probably most of my time is devoted to like Orange QC. So if I have another idea, I kind of, you know, jot it down somewhere, and in the future, you know, I dabble with that. So it's all about just setting things in line and trying to figure out where you want to allocate your resources to.
So if you do come up with a new, generally software idea, would you add it to Orange QC and expand what that company does, or would you, if you had the time, would you start another company that does something else? Like, is there a benefit either way, or?
So if, like, so say I made like, you know, a new light bulb, you know, I made a new light bulb, I would make a different company based around that. If it's deals with, you know, janitorial or food service quality control, I would kind of stick it in Orange QC. I mean, if that's what it needs, you know, maybe they say, oh, we need something that, you know, works with, you know, certain devices or something like that, or, you know, I don't know, work scheduling, which is kind of related to it, you know, something like that. I might incorporate into there. It depends how closely it's related. You know, it doesn't hurt to try something else. If the worst case, you just merge it in later. So, yeah.
Who are Orange QC's competitors?
The biggest competitor is pen and paper. So there are digital quality control systems, but pen and paper is so widely used throughout the industry that it's so hard to steal customers away, use that word, but steal away from our digital competitors. There's such a huge chunk of the pie that people would still use pen and paper. And that's kind of across the board in just about every industry. So pen and paper is our biggest competitor, but there are ones that are very similar to us that do digital.
Are you actively like going out and trying to advertise this to people or market it to people?
So we're trying to do that. So we're kind of in a weird position where it's like, okay, how do we allocate our time for still building features, talking with our customer, you know, getting feedback, and also trying to talk to new customers. And so right now what we're trying to do is one of the people that's on our team is going to do like 80-20. So 80% of their time is just going to be on sales. 20% of their time is going to be on like software development. And so it's going to be kind of a nice division, just kind of try to allocate some time out, just so that we do at least try to focus on sales a little bit. Because right now we've done practically zero. So, you know, it's just been, you know, like connections and talking to people that's kind of got us where we are.
So I'm trying to understand what the role of sort of your own networks and friendship is in what you're doing. So, you know, so much of what you were able to do is really impressive because you did it kind of on, you know, on your own. But how did you identify and work with friends and supporters in building Orange QC?
So the co-founder that I jumped on with early in this startup, he was been in my like sophomore, computer science classes his freshman year. I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty smart. And, I had some, goofy ideas. I told him about the one idea that failed, and he kind of referred me off to somebody else. He didn't want to be mean and say he didn't think it was going to work. But you'll find people that you work with really well, and that you should just, make a mental note. Oh, if I have an idea, like talk to him about. And so it was probably January, maybe earlier than that, 2009, when I had that idea, because that's, it was more or less when, things were moving along with school and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool, build this OrangeQC idea, yada, yada, yada. And I talked to him, and he said, this is a really cool idea. And he's like, I'd love to work on it with you. It's like, perfect. And so it's just knowing that person, and knowing that they can actually work, and you work together really well with them, kind of helps move that whole process along, because now you're not, just hoping that you'll find somebody, through the luck of the draw, or someone falls from the sky to help you out. It's definitely, it's your connections that you know now that that definitely build that. And so I think even Roshan, you're working with like Merge FM stuff, and that's just based on our network of existing people. And it's Line Entrepreneurship Network. Throw out a plug for that, because that's a great place. You just like walk in, and there's tons of other people that are like-minded, all want to start stuff. And some of them don't have ideas, some of them have ideas. It's just kind of like matching all those people up. So.
All right, you said earlier classes are boring.
Yeah.
So did any part of your education help you with this at all?
Yes, I would say that. I mean, there are definitely some classes that are worthwhile going to, and I go to some classes. I just don't go to the others. That's like I selectively pick the ones that are worth the time to go to, and the others, I just study for. And I think my roommate, which is the funniest thing, is I kind of thought about this because as an incoming freshman, I had always gone to class. That's what I thought. When you did, I did that in high school. I had to do it now. And so my freshman year, my roommate went to Physics 211 is the class, the first physics class. That was the first day and last day he went to class. So he picked up the syllabus, and he wanted to teach himself everything, and then went to the final, and he got like an A. He never went to class ever, and so he was better at teaching himself than like the teacher was. And so I kind of was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I tried that. I found that some things I'm just better at teaching myself at. So.
All right, thank you. Yay.